Call the meeting to order at 7:05, 7:06. Could we all stand for the pledge? Let's see, let's have Nicole do the invocation, if you don't mind, do you?
Oh, I don't mind. Dear God, thank you for letting us be able to get together as a community this month, and bless all of us and everyone going through and dealing with COVID-19, and thanks for giving us the opportunity to continue to have our meetings. Thank you.
And tell your
sisters.
Okay, please stand for a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Sandy, could you please read the roll?
Councilman Pavoldi?
Here.
Councilman Jacaruso?
Here.
Councilman Gray?
Here.
Councilwoman Mora?
Here.
Supervisor Esposito?
Present. Also present is our attorney, Gerard Parisi. Okay, just said at our the Princetown regular town board meeting is called to order at 7:08. Privileges of the floor. At every scheduled town board meeting, the public shall have the right to address the town board during the course of the meeting referred to as privilege of the floor. Members of the public should restrict their comments to items of town business. Although there is no official time constraints, speakers should be considerate of others so that all interested members of the public have an opportunity to be heard. There shall be one portion of the meeting dedicated to privilege of the floor near the beginning of each meeting. All remarks and questions shall be addressed to the board. No person shall enter discussion with a person having the floor. Council members may address any comments during the portion of the meeting referred to as council member comments. Privilege of the floor is opened up at 7:10. Any takers? Since we don't have a big crowd here, so I guess we'll close the privileges of the floor up at 7:11. Okay. Committee reports. Highway Superintendent Nick Morris Sr.
Yeah, no problems with the roads, and I think we're very fortunate, a lot with the weather we've been having with the hurricanes and everything, a lot of people had lost electric and trees down. So we didn't have anything like that I know of. I didn't get any complaints at all, except one tree on a road that you came with me once.
Yeah.
It wasn't there. The tree that wasn't there?
Yeah. Tree that wasn't there.
Okay, that's about it, you know?
And the road up on, the culvert up on Overlook was done. I mentioned that last time. And,
Yeah,
they did a good
beautiful.
job.
You did a beautiful job, you know what? The county's doing good with us, I'll tell you, you know what? Appreciate it.
And we got the driveway patched out here too.
I don't see any water coming out, so we're okay.
Yeah. That's good, that's a good thing. Anything else, Nick?
No, that's good. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. Any questions for Nick? Okay, water. Let me get his report out here, bear with me. Okay, and this is from Clark Collins, our water commissioner. Gallons pumped 2,224,100. Maximum daily average 117,200. Minimum daily average 71,000. Year to date 13,181,000. As you know, we had a lightning strike that took out all of our communications at the water plant and the ability to run the system automatically on June 28, 2020. The old system could not be rebuilt with today's technology. Wells Communications and Smith Controls that originally designed and installed the system are working on the replacement of this equipment. I spoke with them on Monday, August 10th, 2020. They have the new design but are waiting on the availability of the needed equipment. The new equipment should be installed by the third week in September. Wes, Gene, and I have been running the system manually since June 28th. This is done by us actually going down in the underground pit at the Rooter Drive tank and calculating how much water is in the tank and what is needed. We then do the same for the Settles Hill tank. After we go into the booster pump pit on Rooter Drive and manually start the booster pumps, we then go to the well field on Route 7 and start one or two pumps, depending on how much water is needed, and calculate the time when we will have to reverse the process to turn everything off. We start everything around 8 a.m. We shut down between noon and 1 p.m. It is then necessary to start everything again between 5 and 6 p.m. and shut it down again between 8:30 and 11 p.m. This has been very time consuming and tedious. This schedule could not have been accomplished without the dedication of Wes and Gene. They can't seem to get the parts to upgrade the system. And then Wes just told me it's gonna be another 7 to at least 7 weeks before this is gonna be done. Is what that system does, it calculates how much water is supposed to be put into the tanks and does it automatically. And now that that's not working, they have to do it manually. And it is very time consuming and it's labor intensive. So, and I understand that the cost for this new system that they're gonna have to put in is gonna run up to $35,000 to upgrade this system. This is a very costly project, and there may be a time in the near future, probably within the next year, that we're gonna have to be looking at raising the water rates in order to pay for these ongoing problems we're having with the water system. We did turn this into the insurance carrier to see how much they're gonna pay for this lightning strike, but it is an old system and it has to be upgraded. We do have a laptop that Jim had ordered for the water department that's gonna be installed tomorrow.
Delivered tomorrow.
And Jim's gonna be here to see what's gonna transpire. What time is that gonna happen?
Sandy said it was 3. I thought they were coming in the morning, but I'll have to call them because I don't want to be hanging around all day. But whatever time it gets here, I'll be here.
So the laptop will enable them to do work remotely as opposed to coming up here. And I just told Wes that he should have this installed on his equipment so that he can operate the wells from the laptop. It's gonna be a little bit more costly, but I think that we should go for that since that's the right way to go with it. So when they install it, maybe they can upgrade it. I don't know what's involved in the upgrade to do that. I suppose they're gonna have to wait until the system is installed.
They're gonna be communicating with something at the wells, is that what you're
Yes,
saying?
yes.
So that has to be a transmitter at the wells, it's gonna have to communicate with the laptop. I don't know, I didn't have that set up, because I didn't know that's.
Well, they can't do it right now. They have to wait for the communication system.
We'll
to be
talk to
installed.
Alice about that for the,
Yeah, that's gonna be another 7 weeks plus. They said 7 weeks. They're blaming everything on the COVID, why they can't get the equipment for.
in all likelihood, that whole setup is gonna be done through the internet. So the computer that I'm buying is gonna be, obviously, it's gonna be high speed and they'll be able to hook to the internet and then communicate via the internet to whatever equipment they need to talk to. I'm sure that's how it's gonna work out. But I'll talk to Alice tomorrow, I'll be here when they're here.
So other than that, there hasn't been any water main breaks. Thank God for that. But this is an ongoing problem with this water system over here, and apparently the whole thing is outdated. 2012 it was outdated, and they have to get the new system installed, so it's quite costly.
What's
And
our
like I said-
deductible for that? You know what our deductible for insurance is on? Something
No, I
like
don't
that.
offhand. I can check it out, but I did turn it into the insurance carrier. I told them over there that we have to wait for the final cost on it, but we don't know what the final cost is gonna be. So we haven't turned that into them yet, other than put them on notice that when the lightning strike occurred. So,
They're gonna tell you it's act of God. I already been through that.
well, Any questions for Clark on this? Not here, but any other questions for him?
Is insurance gonna cover the whole repair? I mean, isn't it?
Is that what?
Is insurance gonna cover the whole repair?
I have no idea, whatever our deductible is, and we don't know yet because we don't have the final price on it. They haven't gotten anything, no prices on it yet but according to Wes, it's gonna cost up to $35,000. So, to install this new system. It was working fine until the lightning strike, so.
Well, sometimes insurance does like replacement value, or it's capped, like, you know, we'll pay up to 20 and then you have to do the rest. I don't know if we.
And sometimes, like Doug said, they'll say it's an act of God, and it depends. I haven't looked at the policy recently. I have looked at it, but I haven't looked at it recently. But maybe we should look at our cover sheets and just scan through that and see if that anything like this is specifically omitted. They usually do that right after the cover sheet. If they're going to omit things like a lightning strike, that type of thing. So
Somebody file a claim with the insurance company,
we're filing a claim.
and they're gonna state their position.
Yeah, they haven't yet because we haven't submitted any actual numbers.
No, we can't.
But they haven't said anything to you when you did you
No.
actually file the claim or you just,
I put them on notice, and they
Yeah.
wanted to know the date. That's all they wanted to know, the date that it occurred, and that they were on notice that there was a lightning strike and the communication system went out.
we've got a copy of the policy, don't we, in the office? Maybe when I'm here Wednesday, I'll look at it. Let's see what it says.
Hopefully, we'll get something out of it.
I
Hopefully
hope
they cover
so.
the whole thing, that's the point of insurance. I mean,
Well, if you're upgrading the system, I don't know if they'll go for the entire thing. I'm assuming they probably won't go for the whole thing. Maybe they will.
well, I mean, if your house, God forbid, burns down, I mean, they replace
They
your
do the
stuff.
replacement cost.
Yeah, they don't
Whatever
do-
your replacement
They
cost
don't
is.
do whatever the
but-
current value is, they replace it, right?
Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story. We had a hailstorm here a few years ago, okay? The hail was this big. They paid for the roof on my house that was only 7 years old. My garage was 10 years old, they never gave me a dime. My truck, a 1994 truck, they paid me for every dent in the hood and the roof. The back was all aluminum, didn't get hurt. They paid me for every dent, $300 and some. That wouldn't even pay for the paint to paint the hood.
Yeah, well, car
So
insurance
go
is
from there.
different. Yeah.
And the roof on my garage cost me $17,500 to put a tin roof on it. I put a tin roof on it.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see what the final cost is and submit it to them and see what they're gonna pay.
Isn't even nothing, huh?
They didn't give me shit.
Well, you got insurance on it too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on over here. Code enforcement, this is from Barini. Total permits 4, permits issued 4. Permit inspection fees collected $200, inspections 19, code zoning inspections 2, fire inspection 0, fire final building inspection 0, certificates of occupancy compliance 0, bank deposit $200, check to supervisors 0, checkbook balance as of August 11, 2020, $200, 64 cents, activities and zoning, working on complaints as needed, working on planning and zoning as needed, working on permit, final inspection as needed, reviewing plans as needed, Thomas Varini, building inspector. Any questions that we should be asking Tom? No? Okay. Ben, you're up.
It's been a quiet month, just one noise complaint from a guy about 2 German Shepherds. And he said that he's gonna just let me know, he's gonna try to videotape them because they're saying that wasn't their dog.
Where were they?
I dealt with him before. She's a female Rotterdam police officer. She's got 2 German Shepherds. She's right on the border of Rotterdam and Princetown. I can't remember the street right now, but over by Golub. And about a year ago, I had a complaint about the dogs barking, and she also didn't have a license at the time, said, oh, I didn't know I needed one, which she ought to know.
They
She ought to
live
know.
in Rotterdam?
No, she lives in Princetown. She's a Rotterdam police officer. But, yeah, so he said he's gonna try to videotape the dogs barking, and then I'll talk to her again, because she's trying to say, oh, well, it wasn't my dogs. She's not the nicest lady, so.
They got coyotes
Above the
down
law.
back, working there all night.
Anything else, Ben?
No, that was it, quiet.
Any questions for Ben? Okay. Let's see here. Okay, this is from the judge, Michelle Van Wert. Reported for July, submitted $3,879. Our first court appearance since the middle of March was last Wednesday. We had about 10 defendants in the courtroom. The social distancing worked fine and everyone wore masks. We have quite a few criminal cases coming up. In the next couple of weeks, the number of tickets is slowly increasing. For the month of August, we had 101 so far. In September, we had 26 so far. Respectfully submitted, Michelle Van Wert, Town Justice. Any questions for Michelle that we should be asking her? No?
No, I'm good.
Okay. We don't have a report from our assessor's office this week. Buildings and ground, we had a couple of things over to the state police barracks. Their locks were broke again. They came over and repaired them. One of the locks was for their room there where they confiscate whatever. And they needed that repaired. We still haven't negotiated a lease with them, and as far as I'm concerned, I don't think we should be spending any more money over there if we don't get a lease signed very shortly. That's my opinion on it. The lease was up in March, and they haven't negotiated anything. They haven't been in contact with us, and they keep saying over there they're going to continue the lease. They're paying us month by month, but I don't think that we should be putting money into the building if we don't know if they're going to be there for the next 5 years.
Do we have a contact person that we can call and lay our
Other
position
than,
out?
I've been in contact with them, they haven't called me back ever since this COVID started.
And this COVID, that excuse is wearing thin now. You
I
can
know.
do everything over the, internet, you can do, you can negotiate leases, you can sign leases, this is not.
I know, it is getting old, and they keep telling me they're gonna stay there. The sergeant keeps saying, oh yeah, we're not going anyplace, and they're paying us the rent. It's on a month-to-month basis.
As long as you're getting the money, then why are you worrying about it?
Well, suppose they want so many things done there. They want the doors in the front replaced, they want the doors in the back replaced, they want,
That was
numerous
stuff that
things.
was supposed to be done last year.
Yeah, well, they haven't negotiated the new lease. This is what they want this year now. Along with siding, parking lot, which we won't have enough money to do all of these things, but if we don't get a lease agreement with them.
So who signs the lease agreement? Somebody at the state level?
State level, the one who handles all of the leases for the state.
Have we talked to that agency?
At one time I did, yes, and then this COVID struck and everything just ceased. And Gerard and I were all set to go over there and redo this lease, and that struck and everything was put on hold. And nothing has happened since.
They're
So all I
paying
can
us,
tell
they're paying
you
us
is that-
month to month at the old rate?
Yes.
So
So
they
at
get
a new
retro-
rate, they would have to make up for the new
Are we gonna
rate.
get retroactive to
Yes.
March at
Yes.
the new rate?
Yes, but,
I mean, do we know that? Is that what we talked
well,
about?
yeah, that's what they're saying at this point, but We haven't been in any discussion.
Have we given them a new rate?
No. No, we haven't sat down and done anything. Usually is what happens is we go over there. The last time the lease was up, we went over and sat down and talked with them about it. You know, what the new rate was gonna be for the next 5 years, and what the terms were gonna be as far as every year, escalating, whatever. And we signed a lease for 5 years, but since March, we haven't done anything. Nothing has happened. So, I don't know, Mr. Attorney, what would you suggest?
Depends on what you wanna do, I mean, you can't really evict them.
No, we can't.
Well, we don't want to evict them, but we do want to get a, you know,
It would seem to me it'd be more in their interest to get a lease if they plan on staying, because you could throw them out in 30 days, once you can evict people. And I don't know how bad you want this tenant, or how well you think you could replace them.
well, we like them as a tenant. It's great to have the state police here, obviously. It's just that it's, you know, our fiduciary responsibility to have a lease. We can't let it go too long. I don't mind a few months, but we're kind of, aren't we responsible to have that in place?
You can't control what they do. So if they don't sign a lease, you have an option to end it, or let them keep paying month to month. You don't have to, you can tell them you don't like it and time to pack and leave. If you don't want to sign a lease.
I don't think
If
we
you-
want to go down that road.
If you want a lease, or you can just let it go month to month.
I think we should try to contact the state people that are in charge of the lease again.
Oh, I will. I've
Let's see if we
been
can-
talking to them about it over there, and they keep telling me they're not going anyplace. But if we're gonna start, you know, they want all of these things done, and we spent a lot of money on that building last year, and they want all this done, are we gonna wanna put things in there without a lease in place?
Who knows if they're planning on staying?
Pardon?
Who knows if they're planning on staying?
Don't know that either.
Putting all this money.
They've
into
talked,
put up
they've
with-
talked about closing.
Yeah, there was a
closing,
rumor at one time, yeah.
And this one, and put up a one in Central Bridge, over on the hill there. I guess they had the land already in place. Who knows now?
My guess is they don't want a 5-year lease.
Could be.
Well, if you do something different, I mean, you could do a 3-year lease, I mean, if they'd be more inclined for
Well,
something.
even a 2-year lease over here is not adequate enough to start putting that kind of money back into the building. You know, I would say we gotta go 5 years knowing that they're gonna be here. If we're gonna start a parking lot over there to redo that parking lot, it's $35,000, or what they want for the back of it, $25,000 just to do the back, I think. I mean, we're gonna start putting this kind of money into the building, we wanna know if they're gonna be there.
What do they pay now?
What is it, Sandy?
I don't even look at the check, I don't know for sure.
I don't have the exact figure on what they're paying. It's, I think it's up to almost $50,000 a year.
For some reason, I'm thinking the high 40s, but I don't remember
Yeah,
exactly.
it was, I think it was 47,000, maybe.
Is it in our budget?
It could be in there.
2019 was 42.9, through March 20 was 44.1. 36.75 a month.
So we're on a month to month now. Like I say, they could just say tomorrow, we're leaving. And we did put a lot of money into the building, but like I say, they want these doors and they want all these things done, but
Well, we have to put that money back into them, right?
yes, we're supposed to, yes,
No matter what. It's not like the town can absorb any of that, right?
yes.
Well, not anymore without a lease, I don't think you don't have to.
Oh.
You're not supposed to be in the
The
business.
town can't make
money, but
any
you don't have a
money.
lease, you're not obligated to.
That's the bottom line.
Okay. I mean, you know, they don't do a lease.
I don't think we should be putting any money into the building other than repairing things as they come up.
Yeah, well, whatever they
Yeah.
put in, put right back, if, you know, we have enough, you know
But
what I
if,
mean?
you know, they keep telling me they're staying, but, you know, that's the sergeant over here that's telling me that, you know, because that's what they're telling him. But
Yeah, so maybe, you know, if they want the back parking lot, that's 25,000, wait till they paid 25 and then do that, you know, until we get a lease again, I guess. Something
Well,
like
that's what I
that.
said, if we're not gonna get a lease, I don't see how we can start putting money into the building again.
Well, I put
Other than the regular maintenance if something breaks, whatever happens.
I am surprised that they, like Gerard said, I'm surprised, it's in their best interest to have a lease. They got a full operation going
Yeah,
here.
you guys can throw out 30 days.
You know, I mean, you know, that's, it's really in their best interest. I don't know what the hold of it is, and I'm sick of the COVID stuff. It's, you know, we
Well,
gotta.
they use that for everything, everything you talk about over here. That's what's going on with the water system. They keep saying it's because of the COVID, they can't get the parts.
Hey, maybe it's something like they work for the state, so maybe there's certain things they have to follow anyway. Or maybe there's budget cuts they might be worried about, I don't know. It could be something.
Well, we know the state's cash strapped right now.
That's
so.
my point, so maybe they don't want to agree to a 5-year lease in the event that.
Well,
there's
then we
cuts.
can't agree to keep putting money into the building,
Yeah.
that's for sure.
I don't know what the answer is, but, you know, just from working at the school, the amount of stuff that comes down from the state, it's a lot. So it could be something outside of their control, you know, I don't know.
Well, I'll get a hold of them again over there and tell them, look, we gotta do something over here. Either we're gonna get a lease signed or we're not gonna put the
A
money
lease
into
is
the
a simple
building.
contract. It's not complicated. You know, it's very, one of the simplest of contracts. It's not that big a deal. I mean, you know, we could look at it electronically, we could all agree electronically, you know.
Well, why don't you just tell them that you're not gonna do any repairs or anything unless you have the lease? Every time they want something done, say, I'm not doing nothing.
Yeah,
You
that's-
know,
we
you
have
have
a
to
lease.
threaten them. They're good tenants,
So
they're
so you don't have to worry about doing anything anymore, you know?
We want a good relationship with them. They treat us
Just
good.
don't
They've
do
been
anything.
there when we need them. But the point is, you know, we really do need to do this.
Yeah, we gotta know, in other words, if they want, other than minor repairs, if they wanna get all of this work done over here, they're gonna have to sign a lease. We just can't start putting this kind of money into the building and then all of a sudden they decide that they're gonna leave. I can't imagine they're gonna wanna leave, but, they're putting us behind the 8 ball too by not negotiating a lease.
At this point, whatever they pay us, I put that back in, that's it, I mean, that's all you can do anyway, right?
Yeah?
Yeah, so, you know,
And we're working on our budget next month, right?
Yes.
And
that's
we've
the
got
other
to
thing.
know what kind of money we're gonna be dealing with. And that's one of the pieces of the budget that we need to know to create our budget.
if that goes back into that building, though, what does it matter?
It does matter because it's cash flow. It's cash flow in our budget. You know, it's monthly cash flow that comes into us. So it matters when we're doing our budget. All cash flow matters.
Well, I'll get a hold of them this week again and see what's going on. I know the sergeant's there during the day this week, so.
Yeah, like I said, it might be state stuff, like when Cuomo announced that school budgets could change throughout the school year. You know, our school went through and cut 25% of what they could. So it could be a money thing that they're just holding out, just to see where it goes in the next year or so, I don't know. But that may be the case.
Okay, now that we're on the budget, August 20th, we're sending out the notices to the department heads to submit their budget. They have to have them back by September 1st. The tentative budget we have to work on, and we're looking at the budget meeting before the next town board meeting, which would be maybe an hour or an hour and a half before the regular scheduled town board meeting, which is, I think it's 9/8, Sandy?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
So,
We're gonna set that up today? or-
yes, yes, if everybody can make it early for the next town board meeting, is an hour in advance to start the tentative budget, because it has to be,
Come at 6 o'clock instead of 7
Yeah,
on
that's what I was
meeting
thinking.
night.
So August, or by
unless we
September 8th.
have to have it a little bit earlier. I'll know by the time the reports come in from the department heads. We have to meet a half an hour earlier, maybe it'd be,
Yeah, September 8th is the next board meeting.
pardon?
September 8th is the next
Right,
board meeting.
9/8.
Yep.
Is that agreeable to everybody? Okay, all right. Okay, any other questions? All right, oh, Jim, well, I'll talk to you about it after. Public hearings, we don't have any. Meeting minutes is hereby resolved that the meeting minutes of July 14, 2020 regular town board meeting are approved or as amended. Discussion? Is there a motion?
I'll make it.
Is there a second?
I'll say,
Sandy?
Councilman Pavolli?
yes.
Councilman Jackaruso?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mora?
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes. General funds claim. Is hereby resolved that the town board approves the claims number 139 through 156 in the amount of $12,394.89. Discussion? Is there a motion?
I'll make it.
Or a second?
Second,
Councilman Pavolli?
yes.
Councilman Jackaruso?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mora?
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes. Water funds claims. It hereby resolved the town board approves the claims number 96 through 112 in the amount of $17,291.85. Discussion?
I'll make the
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Sandy?
Councilman Pavolli?
Yes.
Councilman Jackaruso?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mora?
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes. Trust and agency fund claim is hereby resolved the town board approves claim number 4 in the amount of $252.50. Discussion? Is there a motion?
I'll make it,
Sandy? Oh, is it
I'll second.
Sandy?
Councilman Pavolli?
yes.
Councilman Jackaruso?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mora?
Yes.
Councilman Gray? Supervisor Esposito?
Yes. That is it. Executive session, let's see,
You want to do the council member comments?
yes, that's what I want, it's not on here, but.
It's at the bottom.
To the bottom.
It's on the bottom.
Oh, yeah, let's do that next. Any council member comments, concerns, discussion? Doug?
No.
Nicole? Ben?
So I went through and like really trimmed up the Rotterdam noise ordinance. So I don't know if this is any good or not. Maybe too strict, maybe too lenient, might be all bad, I don't know. But I have a copy here, I can give everybody a copy.
You got a copy? for
Is that the
everybody?
one that's in here? Is that
No, this
it?
is a different one.
Oh,
I
okay.
went through and kind of
All right. Yeah.
toned it down a
It
bit.
wasn't all even that bad, really, I mean, it
It's
was.
7 pages,
Yeah.
you know, brought this down a little bit. So I can give you guys a copy and then in the next meeting we can.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right.
Yeah,
We're not
give us a
sticking
copy
to
and,
2 pages each.
Okay.
We'll put it on the agenda for the next meeting.
Well, look it over first, because
Well, yeah.
there may be things on it that you don't agree with, or things that are good, and
There's
look it
2
over.
pages there.
There
So
should
wait a
be
minute.
enough for everybody.
Was it 2
Front-
pages?
Front and back, and then the front, yeah. Yeah, so look it over, maybe next time we can talk about it, but, I tried to tone it down a little bit, make it more applicable to Princetown, but there may be things in there you wanna get rid of that might not be good, or, add on to it.
Okay, and we'll put it on the,
Read it over first,
Well,
yeah.
First you all have to agree on the language.
pardon?
First you all have to agree on the language you're gonna use.
Right.
I think, then we
Well, I
have
will discuss it in the next meeting,
Yeah.
and then see if we have to have it, it's gotta go through a public
to,
hearing.
I think it's gonna be referred to the planning commission first too.
Yeah,
Once we know, we all agree.
anything else, Ben?
That's it.
Jim?
Yeah, we're having, all of our computers upgraded to Windows 10. It's primarily a security issue, but it's also, the whole system is gonna be better, it's gonna be faster. We're also having some equipment installed tomorrow, I'll be here when Omnis arrives. It's, the equipment they're putting in will speed everything up. All our communications, our internet, everything should get speeded up. Sandy, you're getting a new computer, you know that, right? Your computer, he said, was too slow. So hopefully, when we get done with these projects, we'll be running faster, smoother, a little bit better, hopefully. So I'll be here tomorrow when Omnis comes to install the equipment.
I don't know why it's coming so late, but
I'll call him, I'm gonna call him in the morning, cause I've got some stuff I gotta do in the afternoon too, but I definitely wanna be here when he's here. So
He told Sandy, didn't he
Was-
say that it was only gonna take 15 minutes or something?
Only 15 minutes.
I'll call him tomorrow just to, firm things up. But I will definitely be here when he's
Maybe he
here.
was only planning on doing something different, wasn't he?
Well, there's some other equipment he's putting in, right? Did he come in and put the other?
No, that was all he told me he was doing. He was putting in the switch and the new wireless thing in the hallway.
Yeah, and your computer.
He didn't tell me that.
I'll call him tomorrow and clarify everything.
No, he didn't say anything about that.
Now, he said yours was running real slow, right?
This is,
You have Spectrum here, internet?
Yes.
What we pay a month?
I don't know.
paying $500 a month, aren't we, Sandy?
That's phone and internet. Just like 580 a month.
Is that a good rate, or is that?
Well, we're charged per unit, so the way it works is, in your house, you got one line, you can have multiple computers. In a business operation, we get charged for every single computer.
Why?
That's the way they do it. You gotta ask Spectrum that. But in a business, that's how they do it, right, Sandy? They charge us for every individual.
I don't know exactly.
Our service contract is $580 a month, isn't it? Is that what you just said? It was
For
$45.
phone and internet.
Yeah.
I know the phone lines are every individual phone we get charged for. I know that for a fact.
Not the phone itself. We have 4 phone lines though.
Right, the lines, each line is a separate charge. It's not like a house setup.
Yeah. Is Verizon here yet? Because it is up by me, up that way.
Oh, no. What are you talking? Files or?
Yeah.
No, it's not here yet.
There was an issue with Verizon Files here. I don't remember what it was, but,
No, it's not here yet.
yeah, we went,
I think it was something about the cable on the road. wasn't
something,
it?
I remember there was some reason why we couldn't get Files here. And we had to go to Spectrum, it was the only game in town.
How long ago was that?
No, a couple of years ago, I remember we went through that. We were inquiring about getting Files in.
You want me to see if Verizon goes here now? It's 580.
Because we did have Verizon at one time, right? And then we wanted
DSL, and
to,
it was horrible.
yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, well, DSL.
That's fine.
Usually on stuff. How is the internet and speed with Spectrum? Okay.
Jim and I are right.
What happened?
I said, everybody's cold now. I turned the air conditioning down. Sorry about that. I never get it right. The air conditioning, I turned it too cold, huh?
Gee.
Sorry.
I'm looking.
All right, let's get it over with.
Yeah.
And
All right.
then we can get warm, walk outside.
Okay. I don't have anything else.
One more quick thing, the newsletter will be coming out in the fall. We're not being hamstrung in one bit, not one iota by COVID. I'm available, call me by phone, send me an email, send me a text. Sandy has all my information, so for anyone listening and wants anything in the newsletter, they can reach me very easily. I'm more than happy to take phone calls, emails, texts, anything. COVID does not slow me down even that much.
One other thing before we go into executive session. Everyone here has to take the sexual harassment and workplace violence training program. Sandy did it online, I guess, with Clark and Wesley and Isla. There's one coming up August 25th.
Yes, from the insurance company.
Yes, so we all have to do that, get it done before, I think it's September, isn't it, Sandy?
I thought it was October 1st.
October?
October 9th, I think, is the
Okay.
date they give, because.
So you can do it online, it's through NYMER, and you got to sign up for it. I can forward the information to you, or Sandy can forward it. To you, just do it on, how long did it take, Sandy?
It's about 50 minutes. And they ask you questions, so you have to click on the answers.
Oh my God.
So we all have to do that.
When is it?
August 25th.
Can you send it again? I know it was sent.
What time?
Well, you're gonna have to do it, probably with somebody's house, I'm assuming, or over here.
9 AM, August 25th.
9 AM?
That's the online one.
The online one, yes. And it has to be interactive, that's why, like Sandy said, it's not considered adequate or legal unless it's interactive. Interactive means you got a quick little button saying, you know, answering the little questions so that they know that you're actually there, you're not just, you know, cooking your lunch and.
I thought they always did it right here at the town hall.
Well, they're doing it now, especially with the situation we're in, they're doing it online, which is really much easier for everybody, for the most part.
How come I'm not online?
That's a
Good
personal.
question. You're welcome to come to my house, I can maybe, if I'm gonna be around the 25th, Tuesday, you know, we can do it at my house, I'm on the
Do it
way.
right here.
Or here, we can do the office.
You can do it right here.
My house, 'cause
I can bring a computer in here, we do it in here, bring my laptop in.
I'm gonna go out and warm up.
In fact, if you want to plan on it, on the 25th, I'll plan on coming in. You know, the laptop is not the greatest thing, but if there's only a few people here, it's adequate.
We'll do it that way then.
Good thing clearing the way for me.
All right. Is there a motion to go into executive session for a legal matter?
yeah.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thanks, man.
Sandy?
Councilman Ballard.
Yes.
I gotta go out and warm up.
Councilman Moore.
Yes.
Get all
Councilman Ray.
icicles on your eyebrows.
I should have put a
Yes.
t-shirt on, I know it is cold.